Welcome to Unit 5, Lesson 23 of Skills. Today we're going to look at present, past, and future tense verbs. And we're going to look at the tricky spelling for the letter O. So all the different sounds that letter O can make. Now, last week we talked about the present tense verbs, the past tense verbs, and the future tense verbs. And remember, present means it's happening right now. Past means it's already happened. And future means that it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. Now, remember, when we looked at these last week, your present tense verbs, they're either the same, like the basic verb. They can add an S to make it agree with the subject. Sometimes we can even have ing, but your present tense verbs don't have these two endings or the word will, because these are designated for past tense verbs and future tense verbs. So remember, when you see ed at the end, it doesn't always say ed. Sometimes it says d and t, like lift, lifted, walked, sneezed, picked, smelled, jogged, lifted. So sometimes you don't hear the ed, both sounds, ed. You may hear that d or that t sound, but if you add ed to a verb or predicate, it's going to make it in the past. That's telling the reader that these things have already happened. And then your will, adding the word will to your verb means that it is future tense. So it has not happened, but it's going to happen in the future. We'll lift, we'll walk, we'll sneeze. These are things that have not happened that are going to happen in the future. Now remember, the focus on this unit is vowel sounds and their spellings. So today we're going to look at all the different ways that the letter O, or all the different sounds that the letter O makes. Your first sound, your basic short O sound is ah. So that's what you're going to hear mostly with your consonant, vowel consonant, those one syllable words. Now you've got your O. It's almost always pronounced O when it is followed by a double letter spelling, or if it's the beginning, if it's the open syllable, for example, like O, pen, ho, tail. So if your syllable break is right there, right after the O, it makes it an open syllable word. So you're going to hear the O in the word instead of ah. Now you've got your schwa sound that your O makes. There's a handful of words in our database. There's only about 25,000 words in our database, but they're typically in the middle of the word. So sun, front, coming. Now you're going to complete workbook page 23.1, which is page 143. No, excuse me, it's 137. And you're going to complete workbook page 141, which is the take-home sheet for 23.3. But you're doing the same thing. You're putting those O sounds, this tricky spelling O, in the correct categories. All right, so always remember with your verb tenses, our learning target, looking at those present, past, and future. Past is your ed ending, and future is your will, so adding will to the front of the verb, and our different O spellings. Have a great day.